Sundays. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's.
And we're sitting down today with Eleanor from Eleanor Elaborates. Hi, Eleanor.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're good. Yes. Enjoying Valentine's Day. Aren't we, Layla? Yeah, Layla's just giving me a kiss.
Aww. If you're here, say hi in the chat. We'd love to talk to you. Feel free to ask questions. Good afternoon, Dad, as it is in the UK. Hello, welcome. And so Eleanor, perhaps we could start by asking you what your channel's about and why you started it.
So my channel is Eleanor Elaborates, and I do like a variety of content. I do singing covers, poetry, I draw, so I do like take pictures of that and make videos. I do cooking videos, live streams, and travel vlogs. And part of why I started my channel was to really get my voice out there and share it with the world. I started it back when I was in high school.
Wow.
I was in my senior year of high school. It was like around like the time like where you're figuring out about what colleges you're getting into. And yeah, at that time I really wanted to share my poetry specifically and kind of inspire others, especially younger kids who don't necessarily are kind of scared to get their voice out there, because believe it or not, I used to be super quiet. So yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's awesome.
I would never have had the confidence at your age, Eleanor, to do something like that. And I think that's wonderful that you have, and that you've inspired other young people to do the same. I think that's a fantastic achievement, don't you, Lucy?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially when you're doing something artistic, because you know you're opening yourself up and you're putting yourself out there, and you know it can be scary, but I think it's just wonderful that you're doing it, and that, as Mum says, you're inspiring others. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so well done. That's lovely.
Let's just say hi. Ryan's here.
Oh, hi,
Crafting
Ryan.
cocktails and stuff. Hello, welcome. And Entrepreneur Life with Kasie and Tamara. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Okay, Eleanor. So I understand you did a TED Talk, which is fantastic. Well done on that. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, in that TED Talk, I kind of talked a little bit about what it was like growing up with learning challenges, but also the goal of my TED Talk really was to tell people that you can put anything that you put your mind to, and you may fall a few times to get there, but the perseverance is what can be your key to success.
That's great advice, because often people at the first hurdle, they stumble and then they think, oh no, I'm not doing this. But I think most successful people get knocked back lots of times. People who want to, say, publish a book, or get turned down by publishers all the time, and you just have to keep battling, don't you?
Yeah. I'm just super curious, how did you come about doing a TED Talk? Did they approach you, or do you submit yourself? How does that work?
That was it was really an interesting process, actually. It was something I saw on the LinkedIn page for one of my old teachers from my high school. And it was one of those things where I really was hoping one day to come back to my high school and inspire young students. And I was like, why not give it a shot? That's something from my high school experiences that I was very lucky, had very good support system there, that it gave me the opportunity to take a risk. Not most people, they're really hesitant to try to do it, but for me it was really okay, I'm gonna give this a try. Whatever happens. And yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
You have the best attitude.
I know, you have.
Everything. I just love it. And how nice to be able to go back to your high school and do some good work there. That must have been really rewarding.
Yeah, it was really nice. I mean, obviously it was very different because it was amongst the pandemic and everything. So it was
Yes.
it was really interesting because we still got to, I actually was in person still, so I got to meet all the other speakers that were there as well. Including one actually was a student who was a junior who was doing it, which, oh wow, I applauded her. She did amazing. I couldn't have done that when I was a junior in high school, but they were also professional speakers, so people who do this for a living. So it was definitely like nerve-wracking, but
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But how wonderful to get that really good feedback. It must have given you so much more confidence and a sense of achievement to have actually done that.
yeah, for sure. That's part of the reason why it's like ever since then, I feel like I've been more like, oh, I'm going to keep trying for these things because I know now that they're still there. I actually went recently, they had a career week at my high school because that's something they do every year. And I came and spoke back on the panel, which that was also really fun too.
Oh gosh,
Good for
yes,
you.
yeah, that's amazing. Oh, we got one and somebody else in the chat. Hello, Roger.
Oh, hi, Rog. He's just through there. Hello. And Kasie and Tamara said, congrats on the TED Talk. That's a tough challenge. Yeah, it is. But it sounds like you really rose to it for sure.
Yeah, yes.
And Crafting Cocktails and Stuff, my husband, says, any tips for public speaking? I think a lot of people struggle with that.
I mean, for me personally, they actually had, you couldn't see, but they had a teleprompter and everything. I think one of the big things for public speaking is really taking that time to practice a few times. That was big for me. Like my mom even had it set up so that like because she's a professor, she had like a clicker and stuff. So at home I was like, even if the clicker wasn't working, I was practicing like I could be clicking through.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That was really helpful.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And it must be nice to have that in front of you, so you're not sort of scrummaging through your notes and losing your place. And
yeah, the days of cue cards are gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, your mum must have been really proud of you too. I mean,
both of my parents were was allowed to have 2 guests because of COVID, and my parents were both my guests and they were there. I had them like when it was going on right near where the front of it was so that I could look at them because there was 3 different cameras and you had to look at all of them. That was my big challenge, getting to look at all of them. But yeah, it didn't really end up seeing them because the lights were so bright. So
yeah.
You're like, I hope it's out there.
yeah. It's probably good that the lights are so bright so you can't see everyone's faces staring back at you.
And Dad says, I don't think I've heard of TED Talk. What is it?
Oh, because we don't have, as far as I know, that in the UK.
I think they have come to the UK now,
have they?
but it's not such a big thing as it is out here for sure.
Yeah.
It's like like a lot of them are educational. I think a lot of them are associated with like universities. I think I've seen them from all places all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about university, college, can I ask what you're studying at college?
Yes, for sure. I'm majoring in food industry management, which is basically like food business, and I'm minoring in sustainable agriculture and food systems. Yeah.
Wow. So have you always been interested in, cooking? Because I saw, we've seen that you've got lots of recipes on your channel. And so have you always had that love?
Yes, I have. I've been passionate about food since a young age, and kind of it's morphed into different ways. Like I literally, when I was little, I thought, oh, I want to be a baker. And then it was to, I think I want to have my own bakery. And then it kind of went the whole different direction of, I actually started college as a food science major because I thought I wanted to be a food scientist, the one actually making the new products. But it turns out now more I'm interested on the like business side of that, which is like the marketing of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's great that you can do that, switch majors and stuff, isn't it? Because you
yeah.
learn so much about yourself throughout college.
Yeah.
And it's nice that, I mean,
yeah.
I didn't have that option. I chose my degree and I was stuck, but fortunately I loved it, so that was fine.
Yeah, I do think you change, you know, particularly when you're younger and going through the, you know, growing up, and you do change your outlook on what you want to do, and you, because you don't know what all the options are, and then you try something and you realize it's not quite what you thought it would be, but it leads you on to something else. So I think it's so good that you have that possibility to change, you know, and you're not stuck with what you've chosen initially, which is, I think, a lot of people maybe in the UK get stuck with. They're not able to change it.
Sometimes you can change, but not so easily.
Okay, what's going on in the chat?
I think someone arrived here by mistake. I won't read that comment. If you're still here, hi. Ryan says, what's your favorite meal to make?
My favorite meal to make, one of the favorite things that my mom taught me how to make is chicken parm. It's pretty
Ryan loves chicken parm.
simple to make, but yeah, I mean, there's other things I've learned how to make. I went to a lot of cooking classes as a kid, so I know how to make my own pizza and pasta and those type of things.
Yeah, anything Italian.
Oh, yes.
And Jarrett's just arrived.
Hi, Jarrett.
Hi, Jarrett. How you doing? Thanks for coming.
So, Eleanor, you know, you're at college. You must be super busy with all the work, all the extra, and all the well, not so many extracurricular activities, I suppose, because of COVID. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, how do you cope with running your YouTube channel and all the things going on with your college work?
I think really for me, it's become like a positive, my YouTube channel is like my positive outlet. There are some still extracurriculars. There's not as many because they're like not in person. They're all via Zoom. But yeah, it's really, for me, it's just been a thing that is something to look forward to as like a de-stressor for me. And I've started getting in the habit of getting videos out twice a week because I just want to be able to share once or twice, and whether it's talking with you like this, or if it's a live stream and a cover, whatever combination, just having at some point, it's a kind of, for me, I think, self-care kind of practice to do that creative stuff.
Yeah, I think we agree. You know, it's great to be creative, and this does give you an opportunity to use some sort of creative skills, whatever your channel's about, and that is very rewarding. The actual process of creating something, and you know, getting that feedback as well. It's lovely.
Exactly. Yeah, especially as you say, Eleanor. Like now, there's not so many opportunities to go to groups, or you know, like I do acting, there's not so much work. Like it's so nice to have a platform like YouTube where you can continue to let your creativity flow a bit. Otherwise, you know, I know I'd be itching, I'd be really bored right now.
And it's nice to have a kind of a job outside your normal job or normal work schedule that's completely separate, you know. It is like a step away from all the stress of work or stress of college.
Distraction.
I mean, I do have other things that I do outside of school. Like I am a part of a group called Student Greenhouse Project. We're trying to build a biodome on our campus, which is like a glass structure that will have plants and stuff in it, to kind of help during the winter, that there's still a place for people to go. So I am like part of marketing for them. So that is something I do also. And I also am part of Slam Poetry Club, which is part of like I showed you on my channel, my poetry. I do some of that, just like it's like an hour meeting every Thursday. That is just a great way to step away from my schoolwork and
Wonderful. And it's going to look very good on your resume as well, these extra projects that you're into. And so do you find that lots of, just going off tangent a little bit, but do you find lots of young people are very interested in the environment and having good quality food, sustainability? Do you find that, being at college, there's lots of like-minded people there?
For me personally, I've gotten myself kind of in that environment where there's those people, because I actually was like in a living learning community for the first 2 years of college that was specifically for like students who like the environment. So I met those people, and so I still have some of those friends that I met freshman year, 1 or 2 of them. So yeah. I've definitely found those. You kind of just have to not be afraid to explore. And there's a video that I have on my channel that's specifically about this, that like during freshman year, like I know it's very hard for people to push themselves to go out. And I know I didn't do as much as I probably could have. But that's one of those things that is just, even if it's like 1 or 2 things a week, to go and meet new people, because that really is helpful. I mean, I've made some of my friends from my classes. I'm very lucky in that way. But some of my friends have been from outside classes.
Yeah,
that's really good advice. Put yourself out there. I wish I'd done that more when I was younger. I really do. But like you say, like when you're young and you're starting something new, it can be scary and intimidating, and sometimes it's just easier not to. But it sounds like you've had a really rewarding experience from doing that. So that's great.
Yeah, fantastic. So the other thing is, yes, YouTube is a distraction from studies and everyday life, but how do you actually find the time to do it and put out 2 videos a week? Because there's a lot more to it than people who haven't done YouTube realize. How do you organize yourself and keep motivated to be, put out more material?
So for me, it's really like I kind of said, like making the time, finding that time in between doing different assignments and whatnot. Or I'm very much like, literally, this is me. I have to-do lists all day, and I'm always trying to
that's
figure
me too, Eleanor. That's me. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I get things done. But for staying motivated, really, it's from meeting other creators, like making friends like you guys and other fellow creators that I've made, that I end up sometimes when I can't figure out what to do, I post a poll on Instagram and say, would you like this or this? And then if it's like a cover, would this cover or this cover? And yeah, so for me, it's really my friends and my family who keep me motivated for me. So yeah.
I think that's a great idea about Instagram, because we were thinking that we don't really use it enough.
We need to up our Instagram game.
Big time.
Neither of us are very good on it.
And So yes, asking questions, that's a really good idea, because you know, you get more interaction, and you know, people like to do that. So,
and then when they see that you've listened and the video's been made, then they're going to want to participate again, because it's fun, like they're involved. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, okay, write that down, Lucy.
And I love what you said about the community. Like, we found the community really helps keep us motivated as well. Like, when other people are posting videos, you can go and support them, and they come and support you, and just having that back and forth is really, really helpful for us as well.
Oh yes, and it's so much fun, you know, because you know, we wouldn't have met you and the other people that we met in our groups. You know, you feel like you know people a little bit more by, you know, being more involved with them, and it's lovely. You know, you feel you've made real friends and close contacts, and it's all super supportive, isn't it? And that was such a wonderful surprise for us. We just didn't imagine. We just thought we'd be completely on our own doing this. You know, we didn't realize there was that wonderful supportive community out there. So that was
I'm just sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
Ryan says, I wish Lucy could make chicken parm. Well, perhaps one day, Eleanor, you could do a video on it, and I'll give it a go.
Absolutely, when I'm back with my mom sometime, because it's always fun to make it with her. So
we tried doing a cookery video together once, and it's never been aired because
it's not been shocking. No, we're not natural in the kitchen.
We still have plenty to learn from. I think there's one of the people in the group who does cooking videos, and like she's like has all the equipment now. That's my next thing for my channel at some point, is to have that equipment to be like have better upper view and all that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that's what we need, because it's so hard to film a cooking
it's surprisingly hard to film for a cooking channel. So I think, you know, setting the scene is really important.
Yes.
Let's see what else is going on in the chat.
Yeah.
Kasie says, haha, Ryan. Jarrett says, to-do lists are fantastic. Always keep one on my phone. Yeah, I should do that more. I don't know why I don't do more to-do lists.
So important, yeah.
Yeah. And Jarrett asks, you might have said this earlier, but I missed it. What are you going to college for?
So I'm going to college for food industry management, which basically is food business, and I'm minoring in sustainable agriculture and food systems.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Ryan says support systems are so important. It's very true. Yeah, I think this would be a lot harder if we didn't have our YouTube community, and also, you know, the support of friends and family who watch as well.
And Ryan has started his channel very recently, and he's already found that there are groups that you know, contribute to each other, help support each other. So yes, for sure.
The cocktail YouTube community is very strong. We'll have to get one of those guys on the show at some point.
Yes, well, Ryan is one of those guys.
That's true, Ryan. Yes, talking to come on for an interview. I'm working on it. Oh, hi, Flower X and you.
Hi.
Speaking of amazing cooking videos.
Oh yes.
Hi. Yeah, that's who I meant to say earlier when I was talking the other day in the comments with her about what equipment she uses, because that's definitely the next thing for me is, once I hit like a bigger milestone, that I want to get better equipment.
Yes, that is important, isn't it? You can do all the YouTube with just your phone, and you know, and get by with that for a while. But it is nice as you go on, if you know, as you can afford it, to buy pieces of equipment to you know, help enhance your channel.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Flower X, and you said, did you start early today? Yes, we did.
Yeah, we started an hour earlier. Yes.
That's why Layla's so sleepy.
Yeah,
she was waking up earlier.
Yeah, she had an early wake up, and then we walked her.
She's not usually this calm.
No.
And Flower X and you say, hi Ryan, at Crafting Cocktails and Stuff. We keep telling Lucy that you should be a guest on the show. Come on, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, we've got Lucy's dad coming on in a couple of weeks.
That's true. Whilst we're talking about it,
Yeah.
Flower X and Yeast are coming on next week.
Yay.
Yay.
And they've been on before, but they have suddenly shot up with their subscribers. So we're going to talk to them about that and how they achieve that and how we can all achieve that too.
Yeah, we're very excited to talk to you guys again. You know, we love you and your channel.
We do.
And yes, my dad has a channel as well, and he's the guest week after.
Yeah.
All about Norwich City in England. So
yeah.
that should be, well, Norwich is a great city. I know I'm biased.
Nice. So. Norwich is a fine city.
A fine city.
A fine city, say. Yes. So he does wonderful history videos. So yes.
All coming up, I'm sure, on Sunday.
Yeah, lots to look forward to.
Derek says you can always find decent equipment from Walmart or look for specials on Amazon, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
you don't always need to spend a lot of money, do you?
No, quite.
Yeah,
I mean, like our Rode microphone, for example, I think it was about $50, and it's worth its weight in gold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
You know, they're used on a camera. Yeah, so you know, shop around. Really, that's good advice. Yes, absolutely. Going back to your poetry, Eleanor. What inspires you to write?
So for me, what really inspires me, there are specific poets in particular. Olivia Gatwood, Kat Jennings, and Amanda Gorman are like my three favorite poets. And really, I think one of the things that inspires me is music often, or something that I'm feeling. I'm just like, I want to get this out on paper.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And again, it's very creative and very personal. Do you find it sort of therapeutic as well?
Yeah, I find it sort of therapeutic. That was something that I talked about with the people in the group actually the other day that I'm in, because we have like a group meet, and I was like, does anyone else feel like that this is for them? When they're stressed and they write their like best poetry. That's how I feel sometimes. And someone was like, this is my outlet for my anger. And so that can be really what it is for people. That I used to write a lot more in high school, but
so you were a lot more angry at high school.
I think we all were, weren't we?
Yeah.
That teenage angst.
Exactly. And I know you do wonderful song covers. Have you ever thought about writing a song or using some of your poetry as lyrics for a song? Or do you keep those separate?
I actually I've never written any of my own songs or anything. I have sung since a young age, but it's more, I was in a choir and stuff, so I'm not as much of used to singing stuff on my own. It's more just covers, but I do know a lot of musicians, which kind of leads me to stuff that might be in the future, might have them on my channel for something
wonderful.
Like that would be a good collaboration.
That would.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
Fingers crossed. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I was going to read.
Oh yes, please do.
Flower X and you say, Eleanor, that's impressive. What would be your dream job?
Right now, I would like to work in a marketing department at a food company. I think really the dream one for me is after I interned at Kraft Heinz, I would like to go back there. But
if you're listening, Kraft Heinz.
I am still in like discussions with them, but I don't really know right now what's next. So.
But that's exciting, isn't it? You know, you've got your whole life ahead of you and lots of exciting opportunities on the horizon, and and you know, there could be other offers too, so you keep your options open.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, for sure. Oh, we've got Dr. Severin Bryan has joined.
Oh, hi, Dr. Severin, who was
Hi.
our lovely guest last week.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much for coming along.
Dad said I'd better make a note of that. Dad, don't forget your interview. You'll be the first guest not to show up.
Yeah.
We can't have it.
No. Gosh, no. So, yeah, what are your favorite songs that you cover? What particular ones, or are they by a particular artist or a particular genre?
I don't have like a particular genre that's my favorite, but there are a few on my channel that have been my favorite. I did one of my first covers that I did on my channel was like one of from Beauty and the Beast, the movie, the Belle one. Yeah, that was my first one, I would say. Another one is Beautiful by Christina Aguilera, and a recent one that I did, Good and Goodbye by Madison Beer.
Oh, I love those tracks. I'm going to go and find the Beauty and the Beast one. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's your favorite Disney, isn't it? It
Yeah.
absolutely always has been. Yeah. And you also, Eleanor, you do live chats and vlogs. Yeah, tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, I really like to interact with my subscribers. So I like to have streams to kind of chat with them, and a lot of times it's the YouTube friends that I have show up and we kind of catch up. When I had mine recently, that's what ended up happening. I had a bigger showing than I thought I would have, so
Wonderful.
that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think really that's what for my streams. When it comes to like the vlogs that I've done, they've normally been like travel vlogs, and those are always fun to record. I did specifically ones that like of my travels to Japan when I went there for a learning experience, Israel when I did my birthright trip, and Florida, and I've done some more as well that I've done.
Wow.
Some amazing places.
I know. Yes.
Always wanted to go to Japan.
Yes, we had a guest on a few weeks ago, Nicolan from Fruity Gum Syrup, and most of the discussion was all about
which is great.
Japan, where she's from. So that was fascinating. So what would you say would be the biggest challenges to running a YouTube channel? What are the most difficult things, do you think? And if how have you overcome them?
I think the biggest challenge is for me, I've been doing it better now with the consistency, but that's one of the big ones is consistencies that I had a challenge with. Was before when I wouldn't always have the motivation to like get all those videos up, but I've really started to like I have like a Google Doc that like what's for next week and stuff like that. That's really helped me to like staying motivated, getting involved in the community stuff is what helps me to keep going, because if you don't have that community, it's really hard to keep putting out content, because you just don't what's next. And I had a lot of times when I had a smaller channel where I just would be like, I don't know what do people want to see next week, and I don't know because I don't know what to post. So
yeah, we found that when we started as well. We were like, what should we talk about? Like, we didn't really know what people wanted to see, but as you do more, you kind of see what people respond to as well.
Yes, you see what's working well and what's not working quite so well, and you find your sort of not comfort zone at all, but where you're supposed to be and what you're better at than others. And it's good to experiment at first, because you don't really know
that's exactly right
how it's going to go or how you're going to be at doing it, or what people, as you say, if they're going to like it or not, and which things people respond to more. So it is a learning journey, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We have a question for you in the chat. Flower, Eggs and You say, where would you want to travel in the world that you haven't gotten a chance to go to yet?
Okay, for that one specifically, I really have wanted to go to France and Italy. I was actually going to go, but due to COVID, the study abroad was canceled, unfortunately. But I know one day I will get there. That's really the next place on my list. Is I've only been to London in Europe, and I'd like to explore more of Europe. So.
Yeah.
Oh, we love France and we love Italy.
Yeah, two of our favorites. Yeah, I have
You'll
to
get
say.
there, and obviously we think highly of London.
yes, of course. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that would be very exciting.
Yeah.
Whenever I go, I'll have to ask you guys for some recommendations.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Are there any particular cities or places you want to see?
I know there's like Claude Monet's garden or something. I don't know where exactly it is, but
Oh yeah, sort of near Paris, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been there, but I'd love to go too.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, we've got some more questions and comments going on.
Kasie says, still listening, just on my walk. Oh, very nice. Yeah, we've just been on a walk too. And
hence a calm dog.
Yeah. Yeah, enjoy your walk. Thank you for taking us with you.
Yes.
And Flower X and You say, very true, Eleanor. Our first 100 subscribers, which took us 5 months to gain, we felt like we were just treading water. We had to just choose our content based on what we were enjoying. Yeah, that's true. And there are times, like, we find sometimes that it feels like you're not making any progress.
Yes, yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, 550 to 600 seem to take forever just to get to the next milestone. And it can kind of be like, what do people want to see? What shall I do?
I know it. You sort of question yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't keep. Everyone keeps saying you shouldn't keep looking at the numbers, but when it's going slow, you think, oh, we're doing something wrong. We're doing something wrong. People are.
Yeah, that's right.
It's difficult, isn't it? If you really do concentrate on those numbers, it's good because you use your analytics and you think, oh yes, that worked well, that didn't.
Yeah.
But when you get super concentrating on them, so that you're just hoping the numbers tick forward all the time, it's how does it affect you? Do you constantly check your numbers? Your numbers.
Personally, I've tried more recently not to do that, because I think that's something that I've started to try to work on, is that everybody's going at their own pace, and you're not. Maybe one channel, they started like a few months ago and they took off. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 4 years now, and I know I could be a lot bigger if I could have been more consistent during the beginning and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think I try not to think about it, because that's like, just to me, of like comparing yourself to others, like for me it just becomes a little too toxic and I start being too hard on myself.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Eleanor. Very good point. Yes, you shouldn't really compare yourself. You are you, and you go in your own time. And
exactly. I think, like you say, like, it's okay to learn from experiences. So like, okay, I need to be more consistent if I want the channel to grow quicker. That's all good. But you can't keep blaming yourself.
No.
For things that you think you didn't do as well as you could.
No, because you just don't know at the start. As you say, it's you just have to chalk it up to experience and move on. We
did 7 months of planning before we even launched our channel, and I sometimes think, like, how much further ahead would we be if we had taken maybe just 1 month to plan?
I know, but we were just so worried that we would run out of content and then it wouldn't be as good as it could be. But we put a couple of videos out, and when we realized that wasn't really the sort of thing that people wanted
Yeah.
so we changed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, we were super sort of careful, weren't we?
Yeah, but like you say, it's your own journey, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flowers and you say, and sometimes they were a huge flop.
Yeah.
My jackfruit video. I don't think I saw that one.
No, she might have pulled it.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some you think, oh, I wonder why that one didn't in particular get so many views.
You do. We used to do little skits, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, don't look at
those. No. Oh God, I keep thinking we should pull them off. Okay.
No.
But yeah. So we soon realised that was not what we should be doing. But that was good because it used to be very time consuming to do. Yeah.
Anyway, that's our journey.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Kasie says, best ravioli I've ever eaten were for Cinque Terre in Italy. Walnut raviolis. Oh my goodness. I love Cinque Terre. I've been there, and it's like, it's right on the coast, so there's so much gorgeous seafood, and like you say, obviously the pasta is divine.
There's hardly a bad place to visit in Italy, I don't think, and the meal, the food is amazing, the people are wonderful, so beautiful, isn't it? Yeah.
You'll get there, and then we'll all enjoy your travel vlogs, Eleanor. Can't wait to see them.
Yeah, for sure. So, I just thought of a question. So, if you could have anyone on your channel to interview or to do a special talk with, who would you have? It's a difficult one, isn't it? Yeah, because if you ask me, I don't know. We said we'd like the Queen on ours, didn't we?
Well, yeah, if you're thinking anyone in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would say that my favorite singer, Ingrid Michaelson, if I ever could have her on my channel, because she always, when I've seen her perform, she's always very silly and like, so it's always very entertaining to watch her.
Oh, yeah, that would be a good interview.
Yeah. I think if you interviewed somebody who was your absolute idol, though, I think I'd be terribly tongue-tied.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Dr. Severin says, exactly, comparison is a thief, it steals your joy. All you can do is your best with the things you can control. Yeah, I totally agree. Very motivating as always, Dr. Severin.
Yeah.
Flower X and Niece have a question. They say, what has been your most favorite video to create on your channel that you recommend, Eleanor?
I think there was one that I had a lot of fun doing that was one of the Hamilton songs that I did. It was just fun to be a little silly because I have that I can be serious with my schoolwork and everything just because I care a lot about my learning, but and that's part of because of how the family I was raised up in. But I think really that one for me would be one of my favorite ones because it was I just let loose and kind of be silly. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's so good to be playful and just to like lose all your inhibitions and just go with the flow.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, forget that camera's there. Yeah. So would you ever like to perform live on a stage, or would that just be, or is that something that to sing on a stage? I know you've been up on the stage with talking. Would you ever consider, being in a band or with an orchestra behind you, or just getting up and singing somewhere?
I have sang in a lot of, I grew up sang in the Chicago Children's Choir started at the age of 8, and I did it for about 7 years. So I did do a lot of it. It was never really solos. It was always in different groups. I've actually been thinking about it because I had to come up with an interesting fact about myself for my I'm actually applying to some grad schools, and there was like interesting fact about you, and I thought about it, and I've actually performed in 9 different states between all the different like singing camps that I've done, and my tours from Chicago Children's Choir, and I did also do spoken word. I was in a competition in high school, so yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I mean, Lucy loves performing too, not singing.
No, I have sung on stage though, but probably not as well as Eleanor.
No.
I was the White Witch of Narnia in the Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, yes, I do remember you sang on that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Sung in character.
In character, quite. And Entrepreneur Life with Kasie and Tamara say, yes, your tribe will find you. That's so true, isn't it? I think there's sometimes like on YouTube, there's a need to think, oh, well, there's this audience, I could try and, find, or this audience. But if you do your own thing and the thing that interests you, then the audience finds you, doesn't it?
Do you think you have got a target audience?
For me personally, I think it's really just people who like the arts, whether it's music, poetry, drawing, but also like traveling and cooking. So it's really general, but I think also when I started my channel, I was hoping to inspire some younger viewers as well. So I think everybody is welcome to my channel, but I think that's also what I would like to do is inspire others, because I want to share my voice and hopefully help somebody. So
that's wonderful.
I can think of no better reason for starting a YouTube channel than to inspire other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people are frightened of doing something new or to get up on stage and talk. I mean, that's some people absolutely terrified in actually getting up and talking in front of people. I mean, it's almost like a phobia, isn't it? So,
it's very real.
Yeah, so it's wonderful that you can inspire somebody who's maybe not so confident that, yes, you can do it. And once you've done it, you feel so great about it.
That's the thing as well, isn't it? Like once you've done these things, you get this huge sense of like, well, presumably relief, but then also like, that feeling that you've done well, like pride in yourself. And I think that's really good to be able to share with people too.
Yeah, I mean, if I could share anything, I can say that when I was younger, I still get nervous when I go up and do those things, but I used to I had that kind of nervousness that I would throw up. So I totally understand where there's nerves, and it's really just, it's all about practice and getting yourself up there and practicing it, because if you don't, it will continue being there. Because I used to shake a lot, be sweaty, all these type of things. So I totally understand those emotions, and and those emotions are valid. But I think it's also, just take that practice one speaking out at a time, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
My very first audition for drama school, I don't really get stage fright, but I think because the stakes were so high, I really wanted to go, I got really nervous, and for the first time my legs were shaking, and I didn't know what to do because I'd never had that visceral kind of response that you're describing. I got a little butterflies in the stomach, but it was mostly excitement, that kind of horror of getting in front of people, and then there were just 3 people with a serious face to do your audition to. Oh, it was petrifying. But like you say, that was my first audition. Audition, I shook a little bit less. The third audition, I was fine. Once you do these things, you realize you can do them, and they're not scary anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're less scary, at least.
Yeah, we used to get really nervous doing our lives, and we're still a little bit butterfly, but oh my gosh, when we went on Kasie's channel for the first time and Evelyn's, we were so nervous until we got going. But I think, once you start, it's the bit beforehand, is it the initial, or the worrying about it weeks beforehand.
I must say, Eleanor's been our most chill guest ever beforehand. You were I'm cool.
Yeah. We were flapping around.
Yeah.
We had a technical issue, and Ellen was like, "Hey."
Yeah, you were a nice calming presence today, Eleanor.
Yeah. I actually, talking about nerves, I do remember one interview. I didn't used to get terribly nervous for interviews, but one interview I really wanted this job, and my teeth were chattering, and they were chattering so loudly that and they wouldn't stop chattering.
Oh no.
Oh, it was awful. I think for part of it, I had to do this typing test. Well, I wasn't a secretary or a typist at all. And I think I got so nervous about that. My teeth wouldn't stop chattering, and I was so embarrassing. I did get the job, amazingly.
Yeah, I mean, I've had so many stories with anxiety. I literally, before I had to take all these high school tests to try to get into high school. I threw up before I took the test, and I walked in and took the test, and like during the test, my stomach made this loud noise because I was hungry because I had thrown up. So like I've been there through all of that anxiety.
Yeah. I think Kasie said on her live with us that she was sick before her very first live.
Yeah, she was, and for a few times afterwards, I think she said, she was physically sick. Yeah. I think
it's so common. It's so common.
Really exactly. So, Eleanor, you was saying you use Instagram for your social media. Do you use any other forms of social media, and if so, which ones seem to work best for you?
Specifically, what I use is Facebook. I have a Facebook page for my channel where I kind of post up my stuff too, if what people want to see, what's coming this week, kind of. And Instagram, really. I also like share my stuff through my friends. A lot of my friends from different YouTube channels are actually gaming channels. So they have like Discord servers. So I put my, they have like promoting your channel, like tabs. So I put my links there as well to kind of get the word out. But also the Facebook groups, like where I met you guys. So.
Yeah. I think those groups are some of the best ones to promote your channel, because you find like-minded people and like we said earlier, supportive people. That's where we've kind of got a lot of our support, isn't it?
Indeed.
The Facebook groups.
And I think too, it's been interesting for us because we didn't watch so much YouTube before. How interesting, things that, because you're in the group with certain people like gamers, we're not, but watching their channels are really interesting, even though it's not our thing personally. You kind of think, well, this is really entertaining, this is fun. And, have you found that you've discovered, subjects or topics or interests that people have that you think, well, I didn't think I'd find that interesting, but I really do.
Yeah, it's really been gaming for me. That's like interesting to watch what games they're playing, just to get to know what kind of games people do play. In addition to about the gaming part, I do also go to there's some people who I've met through different groups who do like shout out streams where you get to know like other channels, and that's also been kind of fun because you get to find new people, and sometimes you find someone that is like they often are super supportive, and like that's another way I've like promoted my channel, because they'll have like a wheel or something, and they'll pick the person's channel to show up, and like they have like a minute on their channel. So that's also how I think I've gotten to know people also from other countries, which is I think that's what's really, really cool about YouTube, is meeting people from all over. One of my close YouTube friends is living in Canada, and I have made friends who are also in the UK. So
that's amazing, isn't it, how international it is? That you expect, like we expected to have American and British viewers, but not from viewers from all around the world particularly. But that's wonderful. And Yeah, so that was wonderful for us too, Eleanor, to discover that. Oh, we've got a question in the chat.
We have two comments. Flower Eggs and you say, no one saw that video. It's still there, just sitting there. I nearly choked during the video. We're going to be going and watching it now.
That video.
You'll be like, wow, this jackfruit video is finally taken off. And Ryan says, I hear cocktail channels are really interesting. With this emoji like this.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear they are too. Maybe we should try one. And Flower X and you say, that's cool, Eleanor. What channel does that wheel thing? Yeah, I want to watch that too.
It's called, his name is Les Sancho.
Les Sancho.
Yes.
Okay. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And that's like you were saying, like people connecting in lives. We absolutely love like the times we've been doing these lives and channels have connected in the chat, and it's like it's so exciting, even though it's, you know, like it's their channels. It's like, wow, like they're connecting, they're interested in each other's content. Like it's just lovely to see, isn't it?
Yes, and on that point, if you haven't yet seen or subscribed to Eleanor's channel, it's Eleanor Elaborates. There's a link in the description. Please check her out. And also, we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a like.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that really does mean a lot to us, and it really does help us out. If you don't mind hitting like, whether you're watching it live or in the replay, that would really mean a lot to us.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So, okay.
So we'll ask you the final question, Eleanor, that we asked all our guests before we say goodbye. If you have a question for Eleanor, now's the time to pop it in the chat. The final question is, if you could take everything that you've learned on your YouTube journey so far and kind of boil it down into a piece of advice for a new channel or someone just starting a YouTube channel, what kind of advice would you give them?
Okay, so for me, it really would be don't focus on the numbers. Many people get stuck on the number of subscribers that they have. And I suggest focusing on making what content you love, because at the end of the day, the channel is for you. It's not for anyone else. And
yeah, that's good advice. If you're not doing something you love, why do it? And if it's not really you, it's going to show through.
I think people see straight through that, don't they?
Yeah.
Exactly. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier, your tribe will find you. You know, if you're doing the stuff that you love, there's going to be other people who love it too.
Yeah.
Just a little patience and
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Well, it's been lovely having you on the chat, and happy Valentine's Day to you all. I hope you've got nice plans today, or if you just plan to chill out, that's great too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, we're going to be busy making some videos today. But yes, thank you so much for coming along, everybody. And Eleanor, you've been such a wonderful guest. You really have, and you're very inspiring. And we wish you every success, and we'll definitely stay in touch. And so everyone out there, thank you for coming along, and have a great day, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye everyone.